Because the bigger, remember, this is a nested set of lies. The lies are different at every level. The first lie that the good guys in NASA believed was a report that they commissioned themselves, just as Eisenhower was phasing out and Kennedy was coming in 1958, 59, and then the early 60s. This was a report. Remember, NASA itself was only formed 50 years ago, when this is broadcast in 2008, in July of 58. So a half century ago, President Eisenhower says, I can't have all these warring military factions trying to control space. I will create a civilian agency, and it will be the nexus for all peaceful space activity. The Defense Department will conduct all military space operations. Well, the first thing we show in Dark Mission is that that's a lie. NASA is not a civilian space agency. It's a military space agency. It was always formed under the fiat and control of the National Security Council, the Department of Defense, any of the intel agencies. All of its data that are not viewed as appropriate for public knowledge or concern can be classified. And even from its own people.
And it's not for public knowledge if it has to do with the control of space.
We don't know that. We know under the law, anything that the president or his minions deem classifiable can be classified. They don't have to give a rationale.
Okay, but I'm asking you, what's the rationale for classifying
if you have
a space program?
If you have a vanguard agency whose mandate is to boldly go where no one has gone before, and you know, because you've got secret documents to say it's out there, that they're going to run into artifacts, ETs, old libraries, generators, spaceships, God knows what. And you don't want to tell the people that that's what you're really looking for. Then you will create in law an agency which only can let them know what you want them to know and keep all the good stuff secret, which we now prove with the charter itself in Dark Mission is what NASA is.
Okay.
NASA, every time a spokesperson comes on and says we're a civilian agency, that person probably believes it because he hasn't read the charter. Mm-hmm. I have people now arguing with me on various conversations on the web. I'm on Graham Hancock's forum in England, and there are people arguing that Hoagland doesn't understand how to read the charter. That only is a metaphor. No, it's not a metaphor, because there are several sections to the Space Act that clearly reaffirm the absolute right of the president to classify any NASA data he does not want to make public. That makes it a military organization. Simple. You can't, civilians would be independent. They'd be able to publish. Science that I was taught is publish or perish. You find something, you write it up in a paper, you put it out there in the peer-reviewed literature, you let people all, have at it. You then get a consensus that, well, he's right on this and he's wrong on that, and we're going to go get more data, and the process goes on. That's not what NASA is allowed, external to NASA, to do. It has careful, clear prescriptions in the law that it can only release what it is allowed to by the president and the White House and all the various other branches of the executive branch.